If you have a Spirit Airlines ticket, don't go to the airport. Chances are that if you do today, you're likely going to find a version of this. We're here at LaGuardia Terminal A, the Spirit hub in New York City, and the check-in monitors telling customers that Spirit has gone out of business. And
apparently, Spirit Airlines could go out of business as soon as this week, and not on my watch, bro. Spirit was always there for me when I was broke. They like the little Caesar of the sky.
It's Friday, May 1st, and America's going out of business sale has just begun. Spirit Airlines is preparing to shut down, file for bankruptcy. They were not able to secure enough funding to remain operational. Does that mean that Pete Hegseth basically ate Spirit Airlines since he spent all that money on crab?
Airlines around the world are going to begin raising their prices on bags. They're going to be raising their prices on their tickets, on really random things.
Talking about one of the after effects of the Iran war. Even if the ceasefire holds, which we are looking at a months-long shortage of jet fuel on a global basis.
The effects of the Iran war have just started being felt in the aviation sector. In the aviation sector, they've been hit by another bankruptcy from a very big major airline in the Americas. A bloated orange toad promised everybody he wants American businesses to thrive. He wants people to come to America and start businesses, manufacturing, and all of that. Promised all of these things. But ever since this war started, airlines, major big airlines, have started feeling it to a point that some are already begging for a bailout. And bloated orange toad don't seem like he's that much ready, or maybe even if he was ready, he has his own personal intentions. Spirit Airlines has cancelled flights and announced officially that they are out of business right now. That's because they don't have money anymore. Jet fuel is very, very expensive. Of course, we know because of the Iran war. It's not the only sector that is facing the impacts of this war. Many more other businesses. I think where we are at right now, Americans would they literally have to either choose food or oil or gas. Okay? Things are becoming unaffordable, but I think in this case, what we are going to be talking about is for those of you that are flying. If you had booked a flight with Spirit Airlines, I think it is important for you to sit and watch this because things are not going well. They are officially out and they are here to tell you to find other options. To some people, it is bittersweet memories because Spirit has been one of the cheapest. To others, they are like, well, glad they're out because they've not been good anyway. Let's watch this. We'll come back to talk about it. Like the video, share it. And in the comment section, I would like to know what you think about this very episode.
Without further intervention, sources tell us Spirit's available cash on hand is now measured in days, not weeks. And if that money runs out, the airline would likely have to cease operations. For now, Spirit is running normally as negotiations continue around a $500 million government bailout. Now, 2 of the 3 groups of creditors at Spirit are on board with the government's aid package, but the airline's major bondholders are not currently in agreement. One floated a counteroffer that was rejected. Now, hanging in the balance are about 7,500 Spirit employees. If Spirit were to cease operations, people with upcoming reservations would need new flights, but they would get refunds. People that would be mid-trip, well, they would have to find a new way home because the airline wouldn't be operating. If you have Spirit frequent flyer miles, consider using them now. If the airline shuts down, those would be worthless, and airfares would likely go up. Spirit says on routes they exit, fares go up about 23%. That works out to $60 on a round trip.
If you have a Spirit Airlines ticket, don't go to the airport. Chances are that if you do today, you'll likely going to find a version of this. We're here at LaGuardia Terminal A, the Spirit hub in New York City, and the check-in monitors telling customers that Spirit has gone out of business, and perhaps most frustratingly, it also tells them customer service is no longer available. That means there were a handful of frustrated passengers early this morning who arrived here at the airport.
Your flight has been canceled, find an agent. So I was looking for an agent. They were like, there's no agent. There's no customer service.
People that were standing here just said, there's no flights.
The company failed to secure a $500 million federal bailout from the government. Let me show you the departure monitor here in New York City. All of these flights that were expected to go out have been canceled. Now, this is likely the end, at least for now, for the ultra-cheap discount model that Spirit Airlines dominated. After 34 years, the airline ceasing operations, 17,000 people are expected to be out of work.
The Trump administration has tanked this economy, and if you think it's bad now, it's getting exceedingly worse by the minute. And now we have corporations that are filing for bankruptcy and turning to Donald Trump for taxpayer help. We already know that he's thinking about giving Spirit Airlines $500 million of our hard-earned tax dollars to keep them afloat. But now we have Frontier Airlines and Avalo Airlines, I've not heard of them, that are approaching the administration for $2.5 billion of our tax dollars in help to keep them afloat. Now, I want everybody to remember, this administration, Republicans, have tanked the economy so bad that Americans cannot afford to travel like they used to. In addition, because Trump is waging this war in Iran on behalf of the country that starts with an I, fuel prices have skyrocketed and they're going to stay high towards the end of 2027, according to United Airlines, who have been very accurate about these things. So he doesn't want his administration to look like an administration that is causing major airlines to collapse. So he's going to use your tax dollars and my tax dollars to keep them afloat, to maintain a positive appearance that his administration is doing a great job. And this comes at a time when our tax dollars are less and less and less being used to help you and I.
Spirit Airlines is going bankrupt? We're cooked. Speak for yourself, you disgusting cretin. I would never fly Spirit. I'm gonna pretend I didn't hear that first half, but you know Spirit shutting down is bad for all travelers, not just those of us who fly with them, right? How does that make any sense? Spirit is a low-cost carrier. Their tickets are usually cheaper than major airlines, but passengers have to pay for anything above just a butt in their seat. Ugh. Spirit's business model, along with other brands like Frontier, have encouraged major players like Delta, American, and United to offer low-cost offerings. But if Spirit goes away, those fares are going to creep right back up since the airlines would have fewer competitors and less incentive to keep pricing aggressive. Oh geez, what can we do to help? Be careful what you wish for. Spirit's currently in talks with the US government for hundreds of millions of dollars in emergency funding, which, you guessed it, is funded by the taxpayers. Ultimately, the root cause of Spirit's issues this go-around is jet fuel pricing. Spirit did its financial forecasting assuming a $2 and change gallon of jet fuel, but now with the war with Iran, jet fuel prices are over $4, nearly double what they assumed. And it's not just Spirit feeling the burn. The United CEO also mentioned that if jet fuel prices stay at this level, they would have an additional $11 billion in annual expenses. What's the takeaway for you? If you've got upcoming plans, book those tickets now, and if you've got an upcoming Spirit flight, make a contingency plan. I'm Vivian, your HBFF and your favorite Wall Street girly, and I keep you informed about all of the money news impacting your wallet, so follow to get smarter and richer.
We have some news right now. The Trump administration is considering making Spirit Airlines an arm of the United States military. So you know how the Wall Street Journal previously reported that Spirit Airlines is in desperate need of a bailout? And while the Trump administration is considering buying essentially a large chunk of Spirit Airlines, Well, now we're learning, according to CBS, that actually part of the plan would be to invoke potentially the Defense Production Act to allow for Spirit Airlines airplanes to be used when there's excess space to transport military equipment, to transport cargo, and to transport troops. So yes, Spirit Airlines, which is on the verge of bankruptcy and the verge of essentially being eliminated as a company, may soon become an arm not just of the federal government, essentially state-sponsored airline, but also an arm of the United States military. So very interesting things happening right now. I'll have more updates for you soon. As always, spread the word and follow along for all the news you need to know.
No, you can take Delta, but please leave Spirit. Oh, so we messed around and got fancy, and we forgot how we used to fly all over the world for $60. Let's talk about it, right? Back and forth, all over, definitely the United States, $60. All right, we can't even fill up our gas tanks for $60 right now. And good old Spirit used to have us back and forth. Some of y'all spring break, truth be told, wouldn't even have made it to spring break if it weren't for Spirit. But now y'all got a little money. Now it's Sky Lounge, right? Now it's my Delta points. Now it's, I'm a silver member. Y'all not loyal. And that's why your life is in shambles. You haven't lived until you jumped on a $60 flight round trip to Vegas, right? You and the bros, bachelor party. It's 9 of you, right? True story. So one of the bros goes inside the chat and say, hey man, I did a little research. I said, uh-oh, here we go. So I did a little research and we actually can bring liquor on the flight. Say less. So we all bring the little personal, little small, little liquors. Our thing was we got to bring at least 10, right? We all bring 10, 9 of us. So now we're 6 shots in walking onto the flight. So we sit down on the flight, right? Cool. It's a little tight. You know, it's Spirit. It's tight. And then we look around and we see 3 other bachelor parties. They turn it up. Hey, bro, what y'all on? Everything? Absolutely. We see some bachelorette parties, right? They going crazy. They on the same type of time. We see a couple people, they're there for a work trip, but they already said, hey, I'm not doing no type of work. I'm with all the you know what. Oh, okay, cool. Then we see somebody turning 70. Goals, right? Golden girls up there turning up. What I'm saying is everybody on the flight is on the same type of time, right? Everybody. I immediately said, hey, stewardess, hey, how you doing? Yes, ma'am. Y'all sell liquor on the flight? I know it's a Spirit flight, so it can go either or. She said, yeah, we sell liquor. I said, great. What type of liquor y'all got? She was like, we got Henny. That's all we got. Okay, that tracks. Let me get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You drink? Yeah, you right, drink. Let me get 10 Hennies. Yeah, need that. Then she says, okay, cool. You doing ice or Coke or anything with that? I said, absolutely not. I know you're going to try to upsell me. Just run me the Henny. He said, you sure? It's going to be warm. I said, don't you worry. We'll be all right. Now we 10 shots in. The shots come, we taking shots, this, that, and third, we having a good time. 2 minutes in, somebody says, I got the next round. We going crazy. Right? Y'all not doing that on a Delta flight. Y'all got too many electronics. Delta flight, you got your TV, you got your Wi-Fi, you got your laptop, this, that, and third. I'm buttoned up. I'm John, VP of operations. You got people, you got influencers, then you got the scammers in the back. They kind of turned up, but they really sleep. Y'all not getting to it like we are on a Spirit flight. Not to mention the ride back on a Spirit flight. It's so crazy. Coming back from Vegas, everybody is on the struggle bus. Everybody, as it should be. Everybody is on the struggle bus. Everybody left it on the field, right? They gave Vegas all Vegas could take. Take that as you wish, right? Everybody is a bump or a little turbulence away from throwing up. Nobody's talking. And that's how we like it. As soon as you hear a little bump, we lean over, say, pilot, you all right? We got to keep this thing, level, or we about to have cleanup down the aisles, man. Tighten up. That's what type of time we're on a Spirit flight. Last time I flew back from Vegas on a Spirit flight, it was a girl who sat in between. I was on the window. I like doing a little window thing, fall asleep. The girl in between, I don't even remember what she looked like because her head was down like this the entire time. I kid you not. The entire time, her head was down. I'm sitting there like, hey, man, hey, lady, how you doing? Y'all got grocery bags? Because I don't know what she got going on. So he was like, no, we got real bags for that. Okay, I didn't know, Spirit flight. Dare to be different, right? But that's what type of, all I saw from her was like her stiff wig. She had these edges, the glue, the gel, something was flat. It got crazy. I knew I knew she did her thing out there in Vegas, but everybody's on that type of time. You're not getting that on Delta. I'm sorry. Okay, so Spirit, this is how we're gonna fix this. Now, I know nothing about nothing, right? I'm just on your team here, right? So this is what we're gonna do. Number one, this is how we're gonna fix this. Number one, we gotta get a government bailout, right? You know the thing where y'all completely destroy the business, run into the ground, and then us as taxpayers pay to get you out the hole? Yep. Let's run the government bailout play. Step number one, right? Okay, we got that done. All right, step number two, we got to figure out what's going on with the oil prices, right? So, because it's running up the price of the jet fuel and the regular gas, right? For that matter. I don't quite understand. Help me out, in the comments, wherever. I don't understand why we only use 5%, less than 5% of the oil in the strait, right? But our gas prices are through the roof and our jet fuel is going crazy. Make that make sense, I don't know, but we need to figure that out ASAP. Sound like a little corporate greed, sound like y'all doing your thing. Hey, I'm not here to judge, right? But yeah, let's fix that ASAP. Okay, good. Now we got step one, step two. Now we got to go back to $60 flights. Absolutely, we got to run that bike. So what I need, I'm out of Atlanta, right? So I'm flying out of Hartsville. What I need is, I need $60 flights to Miami, South Beach. Need that. And I need all the smaller cities in between. So that's Tampa, Orlando, Fort Lauderdale. Yup, $60. We got to run it back. We got to get back to the basics. Then I also need that Dallas-Houston $60 play as well. Remember, y'all used to do that, right? We got to get back to the basics, right? $60, need that. Y'all figure that out. 1, 2, 3, I'm back. I'm loyal. I slick never really left. but I'm definitely loyal. I'll even ride up front. I know y'all got a little rewards and y'all got a little credit card. I'll do all the things. And I'm bringing everybody with me. And don't tell me in the comments you wouldn't go, if I can figure this out, and me and Spirit can figure this out for $60, you're definitely hopping on a Spirit flight for the price of hookah. Stop it. You can't even fill up your car right now for $60, right? Everybody's coming back. So Spirit, man, yeah, tighten up those 3 things, make it happen, call who you need to call. And we back, man. We back, man. But y'all need to hold on and, get some things figured out.
Apparently, Spirit Airlines could go out of business as soon as this week, and not on my watch, bro. Spirit was always there for me when I was broke. They like the little Caesar of the sky. When I ain't have it, they had it. All right? I remember they got me all the way to Detroit. I live in Los Angeles. They got me to Detroit for $32, which is crazy because I was headed to Canada. But for $32, it's pretty close. It's almost, I don't mind. Nah, bro, we're going to go fund me something. How much does Spirit even owe? They might owe like $16,000. I feel like we could cobble that together as a family, as a people. You know what I mean? Like, maybe they the first business that just need a GoFundMe. I like Spirit Airlines because they ain't got no systems. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like their IT department is 2 fax machines that don't even talk to each other. Spirit Airlines is really just Southwest Airlines in 1984. I like buying my flights a la carte. I don't need carry-on. I just wear 4 jean jackets.
Today, we're talking about one of the after effects of the Iran war. Even if the ceasefire holds, which we are looking at a months-long shortage of jet fuel on a global basis, most heavily concentrated on the South Asian, Southeast Asian, Australasian, and Northeast Asian zone. The problem is that jet fuel is very exacting in terms of its production, whereas diesel or gasoline have a broader band that you can produce them with in the distillation columns in a refinery. In addition, the type of crude, which is kind of a medium-heavy sour, that is your preferred feedstock for most refineries that make jet fuel, is heavily concentrated its production in places like Kuwait and Iraq and Saudi Arabia, and all that stuff is offline. That was all Gulf-facing crude that couldn't be redirected somewhere else. We've now had 500 million barrels of oil not be produced and delivered, and the refineries have already taken last delivery from pre-war shipments. We're not going to see new shipments come out in the next 2 to 3 months minimum, probably considering that a lot of this stuff is Kuwaiti and Iraqi, for over a year. So that means that we're already seeing airlines in China and Japan and Australia and New Zealand and the Philippines and Vietnam and India all canceling flights, not just for the next few weeks, but the next few months. There is no good substitute here, because if you say run low on gasoline, some vehicles can switch to diesel, or more importantly, the cargo can switch to diesel. And if you run low on diesel, you can always put some of the cargo on trains or on ships. Jet fuel is for jets, and that's it. So with a relative bottleneck on the feedstock and a relative bottleneck at the refineries and a lack of substitutions, we're just out. And so we're going to see this cling to the system for at least a year. assuming no new shooting.
Airlines around the world are going to begin raising their prices on bags. They're going to be raising their prices on their tickets, on really random things, right? On their fees. They're going to have random fees that pop up out of nowhere. They're also going to be canceling flights around the world. Places like Italy are already experiencing jet fuel shortages and have canceled flights. United and JetBlue have raised their bag fees. I know, insane. These are being framed as, now I'm not talking about Italy and the other countries, I'm talking about the United States. These are being framed as operational constraints. Well, I think that this has a whole different angle to it. A lot of our allies and a lot of Western countries are stating that they're rationing fuel, oil, they're announcing it, and they're not playing around. Countries are canceling school, they're telling people they're not allowed to drive into work. These are government mandated orders coming through. And I'm not here to scare you, but they're saying to stockpile on resources and things like that. Don't go and go crazy and go buy toilet paper. Again, we will be inconvenienced. We will not be like in a crisis, okay, everybody? And the only reason why I'm talking about this is because I had did some digging and some research. I had seen that Spirit had like dropped like thousands of flights. And I was like, I have to figure out what they're talking about. The International Air Transportation Association has stated that jet fuel prices are up 104%. But here's the thing, that's the spot price, and airlines don't all pay the spot price. And we've talked about spot prices before and how some countries buy their oil based off the spot price. They don't have enough money to stockpile. So airlines hedge fuel, meaning they buy oil in the moment, like today, for the next 7 years. So they have to pay that same price for the next 7 years, if that makes sense. This is where greed comes in, and that's my favorite thing to talk about when we're talking socio-coochinomics, okay? Airlines have a choice. Either keep buying their fuel at the price that they bought it at in 2025, 2022, whenever the fuck it was. Or they could sell their cheap fuel and make a off of it. So what do? The airlines are selling their fuel contracts. Now this is inference. This is a hypothetical, okay? This is a hypothesis. They're selling their futures contracts, making a kick off of them, and then citing shortage or operational constraints or issues, when in all reality, they're just not flying their planes and they're not doing anything because they made massive profits off their fuel contracts. And some countries might have like forced it to happen. Like, I can't say, I think it's in Eastern Europe. Lufthansa, I don't know where that is, leave me alone. They canceled around 20,000 flights. And for everybody's like, that's $1 billion in tickets. But it's $1 billion in tickets. But if you have $75 in oil future contracts, right? Like and it's $115 right now. You're dumb to sit on that. You're really dumb to sit on that. That's what a lot of people are thinking. And the only reason why I think Spirit may be doing that and the Lufthansa country is doing that, I don't know how you shit, is because first off, everywhere else around that country is flying. They're having like no issues. They haven't canceled that many fucking flights. That's insane. And then Spirit, everybody else is flying. They ain't canceled that many flights. Like, they'll cancel thousands, but 20,000? Like, damn. End the route completely? Damn. The mechanism is to always look at the corporate giants as victims. Like, airlines are facing constraints and restrictions when really the issue is you guys are trying to make a profit right now. Like, we all see it. We're not stupid. I think majority of the shortages are 40% financial greed and profit, honestly. The other probably are because of fuel shortages, the 60%. But I think 40% of it is about mostly just trying to make a profit off of their own contracts. It's like wholesaling, but you're whole fueling, you know? But who gets hurt, obviously, is the workers, because they're going to get laid off because of operations constraints, because they don't want to seem like they're selling their contracts to make a profit while they're not flying their planes. A lot of chemical and steel manufacturers are imposing a 30% surcharge to offset the price of oil and gas and energy. Yeah, and the CEO of Chevron has announced that energy is now not as flexible as it used to be, meaning one hurricane, one attack, one explosion, one issue in Saudi Arabia's refineries, one issue in Nigeria's oils, one issue would literally cause another collapse. There is no buffer anymore. And let's just now move into...
Did y'all know Spirit filed bankruptcy? Have I ever flown Spirit before? No, never. Do I have anything against Spirit? No, I just have never flown Spirit. But I have a trip to go on in like 3 weeks. Very short trip. I agreed to do this trip because to me, I was like, oh, Florida, a flight to Florida, cheap. That's nothing. Whatever. Okay, so I eventually booked my flight to Florida and I use Spirit. And as soon as I do it, I realized that Spirit has filed bankruptcy. They had filed bankruptcy the day before I booked my flight. Great. That's good timing, perfect timing. I always do things at perfect timing. All right, so now my dilemma is, should I take the chance of sticking with the booking with Spirit and my flight possibly being canceled, or just go ahead and book another flight through like American? Because let me run you the numbers real quick. So 2 tickets for Spirit to get to Florida, about $500, because that's not the basic, that's like the little premium whatever, so you can pick your seat, bring your carry-on, blah 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 blah. Now if I do American, I'm gonna be spending like $1,200. That's like more than double the price. In my mind, like it's not clicking to spend $1,200 just to get to freaking Florida. Like if I'm spending $1,200 on a flight, I feel like I should be going somewhere better than Florida. No shade to Florida, but I'm just saying it's not that far. Let me know. What would you do? Would you take the chance and just wait and see if Spirit is going to cancel flights, or just say F it and use another airline? Let me know.
You should really care about the Spirit Airlines bankruptcy, even if you don't fly them, because if they go away, your prices on whatever airline are going to go up. The government is talking about bailing out Spirit Airlines, and I know we usually don't like the government bailing out companies, but in this case, it might actually help consumers. Because without Spirit, there's one less competitor that other airlines have to account for. And in fact, airlines like Frontier and JetBlue don't want the government bailout to happen, specifically because it would make it harder for them to raise their prices. And even though you may not fly Spirit Airlines, their mere existence is one of the reasons that encouraged other airlines to introduce basic economy fares. Because other companies figured out what Spirit was offering its customers, effectively sit down, shut up, be glad that you're in the air right now. And companies like American Airlines decided to offer their own version of that, hoping to pick off Spirit Airlines passengers. Spirit Airlines has been in financial trouble for a while, and in fact, they were in bankruptcy, managed to exit bankruptcy, only to then be hit with rising jet fuel prices because of the war in Iran. And jet fuel prices are wreaking havoc across the industry. In fact, that's one of the reasons why Frontier and JetBlue really want to raise their prices if Spirit goes away. So in a potential move to help consumers, the Trump administration is considering just injecting money into the business to help shore up its finances, or just outright buy it. And in a way, because this administration started the war in Iran, it's almost like the least they could do. But at the same time, doing this uses our taxpayer dollars. And I know I'm talking about this in the context of your ticket prices, but just keep in mind there are 17,000 people that work at Spirit Airlines that could lose their jobs if the company goes under. So let me know what you think. Do you think that the US government should bail out Spirit Airlines? Do you fly Spirit, and how do you think it compares to other airlines, whether it's basic economy or regular economy? Let me know what you think. If you like these sorts of discussions, like and follow for more.
Good day, good people, and thanks for tuning in. Once again, I'm hoping that you guys are doing all right. Hopefully the Most High is keeping you, protecting you, and preserving you, and you're also very well. Yes, I do appreciate you and your support to me on here. And join me at the same time to give a special shout out to the members and sponsors of this channel. You guys do me absolutely amazing, and you are highly, highly appreciated. To the community of 60K plus amazing humans that I have on here. Thank you so much for loving and supporting what I do. We are catching up on the catastrophe that is hitting the aviation industry. And to be honest, it's not just the aviation industry. I think it's the rest of America, besides or except the billionaires and trillionaires and friends and family of Bloated Orange Toad. I don't think they are feeling the impact that much. All right. But with the aviation industry, this is just like the first gap that has, or the first catastrophe that has just hit. Yes, we've been hearing that some are already filing for bankruptcy, but with this whole entire Iran war, things went out of hand, because we know jet fuel is very, very much expensive. And unfortunately, there's no, like, you can't even speculate when this is going to stop. So, this is not just about Spirit Airlines alone. Because your man, Bloated Orange Toad, he said just because there's a ceasefire, the war is over. That man is sick in the head. That man is sick in the head. He needs to be, I don't know, where, but he needs to be somewhere resting and not really in any position of power. Okay? Yeah. That man literally, instead of going back and asking for congressional approval or explain to the Congress that we need to continue or we need to stop and give me more chance, give me more time, he told them so many more other wars went on, so many more other presidents broke these rules and all of that, so I'm not going to be that much different. So, to the business world, there's not so much hope in the future, in the foreseeable future, because Bloated Orange Toad does not know when this war is going to get out of his throat. Most of the demands Iran is putting, he's not willing to adhere to. He says they are unreasonable, but then at the same time, he's like, they are begging, they are begging, they are begging. Are they begging? Or they are not? Because the people that are begging literally go and put their demands and leave. And you be planning to go because you know they are there, and then you realize they've left, and then you cancel to make yourself look good. But you back home, you're actually looking terrible, because the American businesses that you promised that they're going to be booming, economy is going to be better, I know how to do it, well, they're running out of business. This is not just going to affect the businesses alone, it is affecting the American people, because guess what? They are the consumers. They use these services. They use these airlines. I saw and heard people that were talking about, yes, Spirit might not have been the best, but guess what? They were very much affordable compared to all other airlines. Now, you know, cheap things always have their very own issues, okay? So probably one of the reasons as to why maybe they were not the best, because again, the services they were providing were cheap. But at least they carried people from one place, one point to another at a very affordable cost. Because not everybody is a don. I think people have a picture that every person that flies is rich. No, people are not rich. People just want to get from one place to another conveniently and at a very, like, in a shortest period of time possible. And lots of people are talking about, I was able to fly from here to here for a very, cheap, whatever. I wish, they don't go out of business, but unfortunately too late. There's already quite a lot of controversy when it comes to this whole entire Spirit Airlines. People are talking about, the government is likely to bail them out with $500 million. And it's already facing a lot of, concerns and criticism. Why? Because they're like, that's taxpayers' money. Okay, that's taxpayers' money. And on top of that, this airline has already filed for bankruptcy for quite a number of times. So that means the issue is not just the jet fuel. There is lots of issues ongoing in its, system. There's structural issues and stuff like that. And therefore, if they have not fixed that, no matter how much money you have to give them to bail them out, it's not going to fix the issues. They need to put themselves together. But while we are talking about this, there are so many people whose flights have already been cancelled, and those that were found midway, they have to figure out another way out. Hopefully, they find a way back home or reach where they are going to be going. Okay, another idea that is being floated around is the fact that maybe Bloated Orange Toad might buy it and use it for military purposes, carry munitions, service members back to Iran. And that too has its own issues because this is a war that Americans have never supported. They are not on the same page. They don't like this war. They don't want their money to be dragged into this. They are already feeling the impact of the fuel. Back home, some of them are already choosing to just buy food and walk. And some are buying bikes to make sure they make it to work. Because guess what? While the prices of everything goes up, life still continues. Those bills have to be paid. Okay? So, if you were to buy this airline and still use taxpayers' money to put into the war that American people don't want well back home, their lives are not being made better, that is another issue. While we are still talking about this, guys, the prices of these flights, oh my God, me, I don't even know what to say. Because I have family that has to fly and come here to Uganda and see me and at least once each year. Back then, before this whole entire Iran war, tickets would cost between at least like between 1,500. Like on very good days, someone could really land a very good ticket of about $900 or $800. Right now, $2,500. $2,500. Imagine, I am just thinking about it because now it is family. There are other people, like I am not the only one that has people that fly over the world. There are people that travel all over international and all of that. Movements are going to be limited. So the expectations are much more other airlines, if things continue the way they are going, either prices are going to be raised, or those that can't continue raising prices until I think further notice, because it just seems like that, because Bloated Orange Toad doesn't have any idea of when this is gonna end. He don't have any idea. So can we clap for the man that said he wants, America to be filled with American businesses and all of this, because the aviation industry is not the only one that is feeling the impacts. More other businesses are already filing for bankruptcy. I brought a video about that already. On top of all the government shutdowns that are happening, on top of all the people that are losing their jobs, because if this airline closes too, those are jobs too that are gone. He say he's bringing back more jobs in America, but statistics are showing that actually job creation is very much low than the people that are losing jobs. So, is he making America better, or is he making himself and his family better? Yeah. I think that is the question. But for those of you that are flying, I think this is very important for you to see that if things continue to go the way they are continuing to go, the way they are going, chances are you might get ready to, see more other airlines running out of business. And by the way, when I speak about this, I make it seem like it's only American airlines that are running out of business. No. No. It's a global thing. It's a global thing due to this Iran war. Yeah, it's a global thing due to this Iran war. Today I was looking through my TikTok, and I saw one of my brothers from Uganda. He was on a flight, and he was using an airline here in Africa, but it is a very big carrier too. It flies international too. And this carrier was empty. He said, "What is going on?" I'm like, bro, you can be asking that question like you don't know what is going on. People are afraid of flying on top of everything. So expect losses, because guess what? Even those that would have wanted to vacation in on the other side of the world, they're afraid that, hey, I'm gonna be flying over Qatar. Oh, I'm gonna be flying over Turkey. Oh, I'm gonna be flying over this Dubai. Oh, I'm afraid. No, let me cancel. Let me cancel. On top of the fact that you don't have even tourists coming to America anymore. So America great again? Is it great yet? Is it like is it great yet? Because it's not just now affecting America, it's affecting the world. Even those that had no business in voting for this monster into power. Just because he got cornered by who? Bailout, Netanyahu. His, sugar baby. He got cornered and he decided to enter into this, and now there's no way out. And because he's afraid of getting ashamed and embarrassed, because bloated orange tour, he gets embarrassed every day anyway. You just don't think he is. But it's just sad. But is it great yet? Let me know what you think in the comment section about these bankruptcies. And if you had a flight with them, tell us of those memories where spirit saved you and, stepped in your time of need and really, really I would like to appreciate you for watching the videos as well. If those notification bells are not on, please do me a favor and turn them on, because videos are not going anywhere. Yes, and I'll see you in another one. Until then, my name is Gracie. God watch over you and yours. Till then, bye.